Hey, welcome to the coffee break chat. Something that I want to talk about today because when I'm recording this, at the time I'm recording this, it's the beginning of the new year. You could be watching this at any time, but it's something also that you should be doing at least on a quarterly basis. But we're talking about the new year, setting new habits. And one thing I want to talk about is how you can stretch a dollar in your small business, and that by being really conscious about what's going in and out of your account and how you're spending your money, where you're spending your money, and where you could be cutting back. Now, I'm always a little bit careful about saying cutting back. You want to be very careful about how you spend your money, but you don't want to be so frugal about it that you're missing out on opportunities because you're just not investing in what you should be for your business. So I'm not talking about that today. What I'm talking about is looking and seeing where you're spending money, where you could cut back and it's not going to affect your business. It's actually going to benefit your business. And one of the things I'm talking about for this is subscriptions. You sign up for things on the internet and you pay a subscription for a certain service. And then sometimes you might decide not to use it, and then you forget to cancel the subscription, or you're not using it enough, or you've got several apps that are doing the same thing, and you're paying for each of them, could be 3 of them you're paying for, and you only need 1, so you need to cut back on the other 2. Now, it's so easy to do. It's so easy to sign up on a free trial also, and then you forget that you've signed up for it. You might not even use the app at all, and you forget that you've signed up for it, and then suddenly it charges you after the trial has ended, and you usually don't get any reminders for that. Some apps do remind you, some don't. So you'll be careful with that as well. If you do sign up for a free trial, then put a diary note on your calendar to make sure that you make a note for yourself to cancel it before the free trial is up, or decide to continue with it because you've decided this is a good app for your business. So be very careful when you're signing up that you do manage that so that you do cancel before any payments go out and you're not paying needlessly for an app for 1 month when you could have saved that money and it could have gone to something else in your business. So make sure that you manage that really well. Then what you want to do is at least every quarter, go through your bank statements and look at all the payments that have gone out to apps and other things as well. It's not just apps, but other things where you're paying for things on a monthly basis. And then you realize I'm not really making that much use of that. Or just ask yourself, has this benefited my business in this particular quarter? Or could I do without it? So you wanna look at those and then just go and cancel all the ones that you really don't need because you're not using them. Definitely if you haven't used them in the last 3 months, cancel them. And then if you do decide to keep them, then work out a way that you can really get the most out of them so that they're working to make money for you. That's what you wanna try and do, okay? So that's that. And then another thing that is really useful when you're doing this kind of exercise is you could actually be lowering the amount of subscriptions you're paying on certain subscriptions. You might want to keep it going, but you could actually lower the cost. Now, there's several ways that this has happened for me recently, and this is something that you can try, is you go to cancel a particular subscription and so some of them will just cancel, right? They will say, yeah, okay, we've got your request to cancel, and they'll cancel. Other apps will come back to you on your cancellation and say, are you sure you want to cancel? Can we give you a discounted rate for the next month or 2 months? Something like that. So that's what you that so when that happens, if you're still on the fence about canceling, you could take the lower fee while you're still considering. But if you've definitely decided to cancel, don't let that fool you or don't let that stop you from canceling. If you really do want to cancel, you've intended to cancel, there's no point you paying a lower fee. If you're still not intending to use it, you might as well just cancel it completely. But if you're deciding, okay, maybe it's okay for me to keep it if it's a lower fee because I'm not using it that much, but I'm still using it or I'm considering, or maybe I need a little bit more time as I transfer things out of it into somewhere else, then you could take the lower fee for that as well. So that's one way that you can lower your costs in that sense. And then you decide when they decide to put the price back up, whether you want to continue. So that happened to me with a couple of apps that I wanted to cancel. And I got one where it was $99 a month and they offered me 45 a month instead. And I took the 45 and then the next month I went to cancel again and they said they offered me $10 and said I can stay on $10 for a month. So I thought, okay, let's try that. So that was one. Another one was a phone line that I was going to cancel because I'm sitting at it's a duplicate line. I didn't need to use it. And instead of canceling, they said we can give it to you for $5 a month forever. You don't have to ever pay more than $5 a month on this line. Now, obviously, with that lower price, lower features, there's fewer features on the line. I wouldn't get 5G, I would get 4G, things like that. The GB that I'd get on it is probably lower as well. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, for the sake of keeping an extra line that could come in handy at $5 a month, I thought, why not? So I saved myself on that. And while I was with the same company looking at my broadband, I realized, which I hadn't realized, with actually both mobile phone and broadband services, I was out of contract. The contract had expired. And you've got to be careful with this because usually with these telecom companies, when your contracts expire, they put the price of the plan up because now you're not under contract and you can cancel anytime. So you usually end up paying more per month for that. If you recontract, you get a lower price, but you're locked in for maybe 2 years again. So I did that with my business broadband and business mobile, and I ended up saving. I'm just trying to think how much it was now that I saved. 20, at least I think $40. I've saved $40 a month just by making that move. Just by making that move. So that's really useful. Okay. Sorry, that wasn't the phone going off there. That's really useful to do is to save money that way by recontracting because you can get a lower price. So do this every quarter. Make sure you look at the money that's going in and out of your account and things that you don't need, just cut because you don't need them. But don't cut things that you do need to run your business properly. All right. Don't be too frugal with your money that you're actually harming your business because you've cut down so much that you're not able to do what you should be doing in the business. So just be strategic about it. But just know that every time you look at your bank statement and money going out, and then you realize, I forgot to cancel that. I don't really need that. It could just be $20 here, whatever. It can really add up when you start canceling these. So at the end of the year, I went through mine and I think I knocked off in total about $400. So I saved $400 a month by doing this. And then I know now that if I do it every quarter, I'm not going to be able to knock off that much again, but there may be things that have crept up over the 3 months that I need to look at again. I think, do I really need this? Did it work out? Should I continue with it? Or can I save money that way? All right. So have a look at making your money go further, stretching your dollar in your business by really paying attention to what you are spending on and asking yourself, do I really need it or not? All right. So I hope that has helped for today. It's the little things usually in business that have the most effect when you start to implement them. So do take this to heart and go and look at your bank account and see what you can cut down on without harming your business. And you'll probably find that it will be beneficial for you. At the end of every month, you are spending less.